Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Disney World Playlist. This is the series in which I kind of wanted to take a different look at attractions here at Walt Disney World, and I thought wouldn't it be cool to pick a theme, a broad theme or a specific theme, and sort of make a little daily itinerary around it with attractions and restaurants and hotels that all sort of fit within that theme. And what's cool is some of these themes come from me, some of them come from you guys, the subscribers. Today we're going to be taking a look at a theme that is suggested by a subscriber, and I'm sorry I forget your name because I don't have it pulled up, but it was from last week's video, so just goes to show you that those ideas, they do get used. And today's theme is going to be comedy. It's a very broad one. Could be things that make you laugh, things that remind you of comedy in general, maybe things that aren't funny and it's the opposite of comedy. I don't know. There's a whole lot of options there. But I decided I'm going to go with things that make me laugh, and we're going to kick it off here in the Magic Kingdom. And first, we're going to go over to Tomorrowland. And while most of you might have thought that the Monsters, Inc. laugh floor would be the comedy attraction in Tomorrowland, it's actually, I'm going with the Carousel of Progress. And you know why? Because dad jokes. Dad jokes have a broad definition, but are usually just like really corny jokes and puns. And I think, well, there aren't a whole lot of dad jokes in the Carousel of Progress, but that sense of humor is definitely present in the Carousel of Progress. You know, some of my favorite lines are just like, Rover, stop interrupting while Sarah's interrupting, or, you know, you can always carry that torch you've got for them. Things like that. I think they're like really cheesy humor, but I enjoy it. And then you've got that final scene where you have the mix up with the voice activated stove. None of it's like laughed out loud, busting your gut comedy, but I think it's just like a cheesy comedy that you can appreciate because it's super clean and super down to earth and fun. And that's why I would start off my day here at the Carousel of Progress. But our next attraction, also in the Magic Kingdom, is on the other side of the park. And that is in Adventureland at the Jungle Cruise. This is, I think, one of the no-brainers on my list. Of course, the Jungle Cruise should be on the list of comedy. It's such a funny attraction, and it's funny because it actually wasn't originally. Originally, it was meant to be more of an adventurous, ooh, look at all these animals. But as time and technology moved on, the animatronic hippos became less exciting and more, I guess, funny. And to top it off, they added all of these funny one-liners that the tour guides on the boat throw out there. And so not only are you getting like a funny experience every time you ride this attraction, you're getting a different experience. There's some go-to jokes that you always hear, but then there are always some like customized jokes that you'll get each time you ride it that make it a little bit different, but always really funny. And then on top of that, you have the cue music, which has all of these interruptions by the DJ of the radio station throwing out these funny one-liners, or they've got like these funny plots going on the side. I think overall, again, it's a very clean and sort of corny humor, but that makes it really endearing in my opinion, and that's why this definitely was going to be on my list of places to go. And then for lunch, before we head out of the Magic Kingdom and head over to a second park, we're going to grab a bite to eat over at Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe. I actually had some trouble thinking of places to eat that reminded me of humor because there aren't a whole lot of them, but I think this is one of the ones that counts. And again, this is because of you've got Sunny Eclipse up there, the animatronic alien who's playing some lounge music, but in between the songs he plays, which are like cute little parodies in themselves, you have all these really punny one-liners out there. Most of his humor is just wordplay and puns, and that's what makes it really fun. It's a totally a specific type of humor you just have to embrace when you're at Disney World, especially if you're used to like more, you know, gritty comedians. But I think that's what makes it really fun, and it makes eating here an enjoyable experience. That's why if you ever eat here, like, you should definitely always eat in here. Although I don't think there's anywhere else to sit, so I guess that's the case. But maybe down here so you get a good view of the show, and then you get dinner and a show in the Tomorrowland. But we're going to head out of Tomorrowland. In fact, we're going to head out of the Magic Kingdom, and we're going to move on to our next attraction, which is over at Epcot. And our first Epcot attraction is over here at the Living Seas Pavilion, and it is Turtle Talk with Crush. Because, dude, that's such a fun show, and it is a funny show. I was really blown away the first time I went to Turtle Talk with Crush. If you've never been there, it's one of these attractions where it's not really it's not a show, it's not a ride. What it is sort of like a back and forth. It's a performance where on the screen you have Crush from Finding Nemo, and he's interacting with the kids in the show, talking back and forth to them. And through the use of all this advanced technology, Crush is totally talking back, and it's not just like canned, pre-recorded one-liners. They're actually having a conversation, and that's what makes it funny and fun to go to, is that one, you're going to get a different experience every time, and two, I think with attractions like this, which I think are mainly geared towards younger guests at the parks, the cast, I guess you could say, is really good at like slipping in some adult humor or some jokes geared towards the grown-ups who are there because they're bringing their kids there. And it's those moments that are really great and enjoyable as an adult. I've never been here as a kid because it didn't exist as a kid, so I can't speak to that end. But when I went as an adult with my friends, it was really funny just for all of those in-jokes that Crush slips in there. And it's definitely worth going to. I think the Magic Kingdom equivalent to this would be the Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. Similar, but this is a much more of a personal space because it is a smaller theater. So it gives it, like, I don't know, there's a better vibe to it, and there's a better chance that you're going to get to interact with Crush. And then again, similar to what we did in the Magic Kingdom, we're going to hop over to the other side of the park here for our next attraction. This is the no-brainer for the Epcot side of things as far as I'm concerned, Ellen's Energy Adventure, because come on, Ellen DeGeneres is hilarious. And then you've got Bill Nye in the mix, and you've got Alex Trebek in there, and it's just a funny, it's a funny attraction, and I think the theme here you're seeing across all of this is that my style of humor when it comes to Disney is very clean, very lighthearted, and I can embrace that. Rather than rolling my eyes and going, oh, this is so corny, I actually find this stuff enjoyable. And so for me, this is an attraction that's always a must-do when I go to Epcot, regardless of whether I'm following any sort of theme or not. And I think some of the jokes in this are great. My favorite, of course, being when Ellen breaks the fourth wall and is just, one, scolding you for showing up late to the pre-show, and then two, when the cast member in the attraction refers to the attraction as Ellen's Dream, and there is no flash photography in Ellen's Dream. So this is a fun one to check out. A little bit longer, if you don't have a full day planned and you're tight on time, maybe not this one, because this ride, I think, goes almost, 40 minutes? But definitely a good way to get a good laugh, learn a little bit, get your Bill Nye fix in, and get off your feet for almost an hour. Anyway, we're going to head on over to another park to finish off the playlist. We're going to have some dinner, and then we're going to finish off with another show, and it's all over in Hollywood Studios. Okay, so before our final attraction, we're going to grab some dinner, and it is going to be in Hollywood Studios. And this one was tough to pick out. I mean, if you know this place, you know what I'm going to say already. But this one was hard to think of. Comedy and eating, there weren't a whole lot of picks. And it's funny because once I saw the two that I did pick, this one and Cosmic Rays, they seemed like no-brainers because they are pretty funny places to eat. And this one is the 50s Primetime Cafe. And if you've never eaten here, it is designed and sort of modeled like a 1950s Norman Rockwell kitchen, Leave It to Beaver style, playing all this old television. And all of the waitresses are basically in character as if they're your aunt and you're eating dinner with the family. And that's what makes this such a funny experience. Now, it's specific to your experience because it's going to change depending on who your server is. But the waitress, more than often than not, is really funny and really sticks to their character. And I don't think there's ever been a time that I've eaten here where I wasn't laughing at some point. Just at, you could laugh just at the scenery of this place. It's such a great, homage to that era of American history. But beyond that, just having hilarious waitresses and the cast members who work there make it such a great and memorable experience. One that I would suggest anybody who goes to Disney try at least once. Might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I feel like it's always worth checking to see. And then after we eat dinner here, we'd end off the day over, actually here in the park, but somewhere else. Now, this is very possibly the biggest no-brainer on the list, and the one that I would imagine would be on most people's list. It is Muppet Vision 3D in Hollywood Studios. I mean, I don't even know if there's anything I need to say about this. It's the Muppets. It's hilarious. It's a funny It's a funny show. It's got great jokes. I don't know anybody who, I mean, maybe there are people who aren't fans of the Muppets, but I don't know anybody who hates Muppets. Their humor, at the very least, is something that you can respect and enjoy. You know, there's so many parts to the show that I can point out that I think are hilarious. My favorite is Sam Eagle. I think he's the greatest. So anything with him in it, I think is the best. And I think this is just a great way to end off a comedy playlist. So there you have it, a comedy playlist. It's a bunch of fun. I enjoy these, but you know, what I would love more than anything is to hear from you guys. Do you think these picks are good? Maybe you don't think these picks are good. I bet most of you have something that you would add to this list that you thought I forgot, and I would love to hear it in the comments below. I'd also love to hear if you have ideas for other future themes. Like I said, this one was taken from the suggestion by a subscriber. And so, you know, if you've got a suggestion, throw it out there. Or let me know on Twitter. I'm @RobPlays. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time for the next episode of Disney World Playlists. Bye, everybody.